Good morning. Just a little word of Torah here to open up the morning. You guys remember back in the day, in the late 70s, Blondie came out with this, like her new hit song, and she kind of exploded on the scene with this song, Heart of Glass. Heart of Glass. You recall this? I'm dating myself. What I love about this song is that she has this really potent symbol of a heart of glass. Of course, it's like a biblical reference. It's a contrast to the biblical reference of the heart of stone that we're right now reading about with Pharaoh and his heart of stone, right? There's this archetype of the heart of stone, the heart that hardens and turns into a stone. And she brings this contrasting vision of a heart of glass. Okay, so what's a heart of glass? So a heart of stone is that which gets really hard and it shuts down and it, clamps down and no longer accessing the world around it. A heart of glass is that which, receives the challenges and the pain and just shatters. The heart of glass is one that shatters. So here's two options. They're both, though, about hardening. There's the hardness of the stone. There's the hardness of the glass. And the problem with the hardness of the glass is that it's brittle. That hardness of the glass is brittle. It doesn't allow for the flexibility to just kind of allowing. It's rather that brittleness, that hardness that actually in the end shatters. So both of these are really not the choices we want, but they are both also expressive of archetypal human experiences, right? We have pains in life, things that hurt our heart. And the question of our character is, what do we do in those moments when we are confronted with the pains of life and our heart feels it and it's starting to hurt a little bit? I'll never forget when I first had my first children were twins. And I didn't know the first thing about mothering. And I remember they were 2 months old and we had this long car ride into a doctor's appointment, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes each way. And I'm sitting there in the back seat between these two babies, but they're not just babies. They're actually crying, screaming, screeching machines. And they were both just screaming the entire way to the doctor's appointment. And I'm sitting there and I'm in shock. I'm like postpartum in shock of like, oh my God, what do I do with these screaming creatures surrounding me, flanking me on either side? And I couldn't move and I couldn't go anywhere and I couldn't take them out of their car seats. All I could do was sit there and experience the pain in my heart as my two newborn children were screaming. And I couldn't help them. I wasn't able to help them. And so I sat there and watched. And my first reaction, and I felt it in my heart. I felt a break. My heart broke. My heart broke because I couldn't help them and they were screaming. My heart of glass, so brittle, broke. And I started screaming. We were now 3 screaming, crying machines in the back seat. I just joined them in my crying and my overwhelm. And I'm sitting there in the back seat just weeping. I'm like, I can't do anything. A total mess. And I cried for quite a bit of time. And at which point I'm watching. There's like the part of me is also watching what's going on. And I'm watching and I'm like, this is not fun. I don't like breaking like this. This does not feel good. And I realize there's another path. And I say, I'm just going to harden my heart. And I just choose to go really hard. And I start to shut down. I shut down my heart. And I no longer think about the pain they're in or the pain I'm in. I remove myself. I shut down. I go inside and my heart hardens and I feel it. I literally watch it happening. Okay, I'm going to choose to harden my heart right now because the pain is just too big. And I harden my heart and I'm no longer available to either of them in their pain. I just shut down from both of them, including my own pain. And there's certain benefits that come with the hard heart. Like it doesn't hurt anymore. That helps, right? There's reasons why we choose this. But then I realized after the next, 15 minutes of me sitting there with a hard heart, I was like, this doesn't feel right either. And I realized there's one other option here, Chaya. And actually, it's the option of softening and opening back up. Slowly but surely opening back up. And I just sort of took a couple of deep breaths and I allowed myself to feel the pain of, yeah, they're crying. And yeah, I want to cry. And we're stuck in this. And that move was such an essential lesson for me of I can choose to soften my heart. In the face of pain, I can choose to soften my heart. So it's so beautiful that in Ezekiel, the prophet Ezekiel says, I will take away your heart of stone and I'll give you a heart of flesh. So what's a heart of flesh? It's called lev basar in Hebrew. A heart of flesh is a soft heart. It's this soft receptacle for pain and also for great pleasure. And the beautiful thing that comes when we soften our heart is that, yeah, there's pain that comes with it. There's pain that comes with the soft heart. It's true. But you know what happens on the other side of that pain and kind of going through it and breathing through it in a receptive and open way? There's a wonderful thing that occurs on the other side, is that there's a humongous influx of love and presence and realness and connection that comes on the other side of a soft heart. With a hard heart, we might not feel the pain, but we also lose the opportunity for connection that's in that moment. We lose the opportunity for just being present to what is. The real goal, the really Jewish vision of what to do with the pain of our life and the pain in our world and in our hearts is to be soft to it. And being soft means having compassion on myself and having compassion on the people around me, just like doused in compassion and breathing through it and relaxing through it and trying to stay supple and receiving and receptive and accepting of what it is that is coming at us. So I bless all of us to notice. One great way to do this is just to notice when pain comes in, how do I react? Do I break? Do I harden? And then notice, how can I, from that place of breaking or hardening, how can I choose to just be receptive to this moment, to just breathe it in and open up to it and allow myself to soften and have a heart of flesh.